Wait,
No. We're on. It
what?
is now.
No,
Hello.
Huh?
Hello.
Hello, and welcome to Powered Casual Presents Dungeons and Dragons. We're just confused by a choice of emoji in the chat, but that's okay. We welcome all emojis here. Yeah, we're starting off our new game tonight at a very special time within the campaign that we just played. But to go around the table and introduce the players one more time tonight, because we're going to do it again next week too. There's sort of an introduction at the beginning of every episode. Sometimes I forget.
Last time you were trying to skip it.
First time for the new campaign.
It's true. So let's introduce these all completely new characters that we are playing here tonight. I am Ian. I am the DM. That's not actually a character tonight, but that's okay.
That was a new character, though.
As a new character.
A lot of new characters there.
We're going to hop around the interface a bit. Down here in this corner, we have Sean playing Thranton.
Hi, I have a new cloak. And two new tusks on my icon.
It's true. Over
Mathematically correct.
Mathematically and anatomically correct.
Double the tusks.
To this side, left for me, right for you, is Tom playing Naoma.
What's new for you, Tom? Naoma?
More bones. No, I switched to a different cleric class because I realized I could do what I was doing in the previous class. It'd just be better.
Mm-hmm.
And
Weird.
then also partly a couple more levels in Bard. Took some levels out of cleric and more in Bard. So more singing about bones.
Nice.
So what you're telling me is we may have Naoma actually work as intended this time.
I wouldn't go that far yet.
That wouldn't be the Tom way.
Yeah, not acceptable.
No, it would not. It would not. But next, below me, we have Brian playing Clyde.
That's me.
What's new with Clyde?
He has a couple new spells that I forgot to take when I was leveling up before. So, yeah. Maybe I'll use them sometimes when I'm not chopping off heads.
That's the Tom strat. Just forget to take spells.
Yep.
The spellcaster?
You don't need them.
And
I mean, I clearly didn't need them.
And yeah, it's true. Like you made a lot of headway and
Literally.
and took care of every problem really without spells whatsoever.
Yeah, if you got a problem from the neck up, I will remove it for you.
You're really You make it sound like you're like an ear, nose, and throat doctor, but you're really just sort of a throat doctor. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a neck specialist.
Yeah, very niche specialty, but that's okay. We also have a special guest this week. Sean, who's your pupper?
This is Athreos.
Aw,
Athreos, puppo!
He's a little camera shy. He doesn't realize he is, but he is.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
Go, be free.
E-doge.
And I'm out. And last but not least, tonight, we have Ark playing what seems to be a series of question marks.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it.
I will embrace the void.
Okay.
Been working up to this my whole life.
I guess we'll get into what that actually entails in game in a few moments. So
We could just not. It's fine.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Just never address it.
Never address it. I mean,
What's
it's true.
even your name?
It's true. Just like everybody's just like you, that one.
The ghostly one.
So, we pick up the action immediately after we stopped last session. So you're all currently standing in the ruins, for lack of a better term, of the High Hall of El Terrell, the Grand Keep Cathedral situation, where the surviving citizens of the city took shelter and refuge during the entire city's trip down to the Nine Hells. Now,
Disagree.
you'd have to retcon a fair amount of shit.
That's the first time anyone's ever pulled disagree on the recap.
I figured if there was a time to go for it, it was now. So
Just
here
to
we are.
lead the entire first season campaign.
Whoops.
It was a dream.
It was all a dream.
Oh man, what a
The
cop
city's
out.
always been here. I don't know what you're so upset about.
And so when we spoke with Quell, did we went into the high hall with him?
Yeah, basically, where we left off, a high elf cleric of looks like he's of the Order of the Gauntlet, based on his livery. He's got a lot of gauntlets on shields and ornamentation and such like that on his scale mail armor. He's just his armor's made
How
of
many
gauntlets.
gauntlets are on him right now?
It looks like scale mail, but it's just a bunch of fingers from gauntlets.
It's incredible. That's dedication.
Oh.
It's not. He's much more classy than that. But yeah, you guys left off with him showing up at the city's return with a small, not army, but a fair amount of other paladins and clerics, also seemingly of the order, to see what the hell was going on with El Terrell. And they're finding out quite a bit from the people who are coming out of the High Hall, walking into daylight for the first time in what you guys found out to be 6 months up here on the surface.
So I know time was wacky for us.
Mm-hmm.
How long was it for the people in the High Hall? How long do they think it was?
From what you're hearing, it sounds like the people in the High Hall made it. To them, it was only about a week and a half.
Oh, wow.
What did they eat?
Lots of bread.
Yeah, we made a lot of bread for them, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
We made a bread oven in the tomb.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some kind of jam situation from an alchemy jug.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So,
I
fortunately,
remember the jam times.
Fortunately, they didn't have to hold out too crazy long, it sounds like, but you guys had set them up for success in that regard. The additions of certain gifts
Preserves.
from a unicorn that may or may not have been saved from a demon zapper trap also helped in their defense and safety as well. So, all the people you see coming out, you see commoners, you see the family of dwarves that you helped, you see the mother and her children that you first ran into when you, after the city's fall. You see...
Does that dwarf still have my maul, the giant maul that I gave him?
He does.
Nice. Good.
And you see the Duke that you had also saved, and the unicorn. Moon color.
Unicorn trotting out.
Yeah, exactly. It's just people like walking out, blinking into the light, and a unicorn.
He was just chilling with them the whole time?
Yep. Yeah, after you freed him.
Yeah.
He's a pony rides.
Yep. He went up to the city to help the people however he could. Inevitably, you get the feeling that that he did nuke a couple of devils on the way.
Yeah, that seems about right.
Yep.
Yeah. Mooncolor is like my bro. I'm gonna go up and fist bump Mooncolor.
All right. So yeah, you go up, you walk up to the unicorn. The unicorn's like, "Ah, yes, my friend," and it'll raise a hoof.
Bump. Yes. So good to see you again.
And you as
How
well.
many How many demons and devils did you have to fry on your way over here?
6.
Oh man. How do I resist getting turned on? What kind of roll is that? Constitution?
I would say, well, it's either we'll go with either a Constitution or a Wisdom save.
All right, I'll go with wisdom. See if I get turned on.
To avoid arousal.
I roll a 13. What a.
You hold back.
Okay.
You hold back.
But just barely.
Yeah, it's very.
This
It's
is
kind of like
real
inhale.
It's a very tenuous situation.
I would have loved to have seen that moon color.
I wasn't expecting to have to pull out the dice tray graphics so early, so I guess I'd better. Get that set up there. Okay.
I'm a teacher.
It's true. So, at this point, Quell begins to lead you into the high hall, into the grand foyer there, that you guys had barricaded previously at least once. Been through a few times on your way in and out of the city the first time. And as you do so, everybody can notice this. You actually see Gilda, who is with you, walk about 2 steps forward as though she's going to walk in to the temple with all of you. And then there's suddenly a glowing line appears behind her and then spins and opens a portal.
Oh, she going back.
That reveals a stone fort in a blasted sort of horizon. Looks like a big old hand. And yeah, those of you who've seen it before definitely recognize Fort Knucklebone, home of Mad Maggie. And Gilda doesn't actually even turn around. She just Homer hedges her way back through this portal. And then it snaps shut. And
was
Quell,
this her choice?
Oh yeah, you see her walk forward and then just kind of like no change in expression and just kind of like.
Okay, so she moved back. She didn't get like.
Yeah, no, she stepped backward.
Okay.
See, I may have made up Homer Hedge, but you all know exactly what I was talking about. And at that.
Sorry, can you explain?
Nope.
You all notice it. Quell also notices this. She didn't really hide it. He's just like, what?
She it has some commitments to someone down in Avernus that I think she needs to fulfill or maybe study with them. I'm not entirely sure. She didn't really make it clear to us.
She never really has.
She has a part-time job in Avernus.
I think it's more like a full-time job now, but
who knows?
Maybe
I don't know if her hours will go down or not.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about her. She's fine.
She'll be back.
She's got things to do. She'll be fine. She'll show up at some point.
She's from here originally. She used to run a shop just on the other side of town. It's fine. She's fine.
I would like all of you to go ahead and give me some persuasion checks. All right, got 14.
In my character. Oh
6.
my god.
Nat 20!
Oh, yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh, that was bad. There we go.
Okay.
Persuasion. Right. 15.
Okay. All right. So yeah, with that, Quell just kind of like narrowed eyes and was like, "Okay, got a pretty strong feeling this is not gonna be the weird part."
No.
Oh, no.
Oh. Do you like toenails?
Yeah, what's weird to you?
Toenails?
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get there. Where are we going?
So he won't walk too far. He'll just walk into the main foyer and sort of off to the side, and where he can kind of keep an eye on people coming and going out of the temple. And he'll sit and just be like, okay, so let's start at the beginning. What happened here?
Which one of us?
If you want to do it as a group, that's fine.
I think you got
All right.
this.
So
Naomi.
is this like the thing where we all have to say one word?
No.
I think we all blurt out at once at first. We just all start talking.
Okay.
Like in Ghostbusters 2?
All right, I'll start. We
No.
Are.
Oh my god.
We kill demons.
what? Clyde.
Crystal.
Devils.
All right. Okay. Okay.
Well, what'd I do?
Okay. You, Bard. You start. And use full sentences. That's fine.
So,
We.
how far back do you want to go? Because I could provide a lot of additional context, but
It all started when I was 6 years old. I was just a wee necromancer.
Yeah, how much detail are you looking for?
All right. What?
so
How? Why?
How about you ask questions?
Why? Oh, I did. I asked you what happened, and this is what I've got.
That's a big question. That's a big question.
It's a big hole in the ground, my friend.
Not anymore.
It's a good-sized city.
Okay.
So, Thranton and I arrived in El Terrell.
I'm Thranton, by the way. Hi.
Yeah,
Hi.
and we ran into
Clyde.
some people, notably Clyde Maleficus, and that was Gilda that
I'm
you
Clyde.
saw earlier,
Yeah,
who
hi.
disappeared into that portal. And also, is Rhea around here?
Yes, Rhea is one of the people that is coming out. Like, she's ushering people out.
And I'll call out to her and flag her over. Be like, Rhea, who is a member of the Hell Riders, and her and her friend, elephant friend, Lulu, gave us a job of trying to investigate. Oh my god, I forgot the guy's name.
He
No.
was a local lord.
Yeah, what was his name?
Turns out he was a bad guy trying to like tie this town
Duke
to
Sagius
Avernus.
Krieg? Duke Sagius Krieg.
That sounds
Who-
right.
Yes, who, as it turns out, worshipped the archdevil Zariel, the ruler
I cut
of
his head
Avernus.
off.
Yes. And so we made our way into the tunnels below his estate, where he was conducting some sort of ritual, but we were a little too late to stop it. And he sold the soul of every person in El Terrell and the city itself to Zariel. And so Zariel began to drag the city and all of its inhabitants, including us, who we were all just passersby, really.
Well, I mean, I was trying to find this guy because I'm Clyde.
That's Clyde.
He's surprisingly good with the sword.
Yeah, and Quell, like at the mention when you like, Quell doesn't seem to be impressed by you a whole lot until you mention cutting off this guy's head, and then he's kind of like, okay.
And also, I'm sorry, I addressed, and I'll gesture to Maleficus Shade. I'll be like, I called this being Maleficus, but Maleficus is actually someone else.
Yeah, Maleficus is not me.
Yeah.
So yeah, Avernus got pulled. Avernus pulled down El Terrell, and then we went on a montage and ran around and did a bunch of stuff, and then we talked to Zariel, and we said, "Hey, how about you don't?" And she said, "You know what? You're right." And then she let the city go, and now we're back.
Yeah, we saved the city.
And then she took Maleficus off, and they flew off into the sunset together.
Yeah, to like go be badass somewhere.
Yeah, Maleficus pulled this giant sword that was like
That used to be Zariel's.
Yeah, it turned him into like this angel lion. So see that guy, and I'll point to question marks, and be like, used to look like that guy. That used to be the echo of Maleficus, but then he pulled this giant sword that turned him into like this winged lion angel.
It was beautiful.
It was. He was perfect in every way. And he flew away with Zariel, the archangel.
So, needless to say, El Terrell was returned to Faerun, but there's probably now a power vacuum in Avernus, and who knows what will come of that.
Oh, nothing good. Ever, really. But
That's for devils to worry about, though.
to an extent, yes.
And I don't know how concerned you are about Avernus, but
Avernus,
I just figured it was worth mentioning.
Avernus itself, not so much. What happens here on the mortal plane, because of what happens in Avernus, that concerns me greatly.
What happened here while we were gone?
Well, there's been a few things, I suppose. One, a city disappeared, only to miraculously reappear 6 months later.
Which one?
Flown.
This one, Clyde.
And then
this one.
Immediately after. Look, I wouldn't believe most of this had I not seen what definitely looked like an archangel, a mammoth with wings, and a lion man fly off into the sunrise.
Why wouldn't you believe that?
I've seen a lot of things, but that is something that I have never seen. I have never seen an elephant fly. But
I have some.
I mean, there's a first time for everything.
I have some stories.
Okay. So
also, we neglected to mention the toenails.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I
mentioned them earlier. I did
the dirt there. The dirt there is basically just toenails.
Yeah, and
it's
it
just
smells
ground up
bad.
toenails. It smells real bad.
So bad.
Don't go there.
Don't go there. If you can avoid going there, I highly recommend avoiding going there.
Yeah, don't go to there.
I wasn't planning on it.
Oh, and this guy, and I'll point to Thran. Be like, okay, so this guy also flew.
Yeah.
When we were climbing down from El Terrell to the bottom chasm of Avernus, you remember that? We gave him this potion that Gilda made, the one that went back to Avernus just now, through that zipper hole, and we floated down. So I've seen 2 elephants fly.
That was more of a float, but yeah.
I like to call it a fly. That was pretty sweet.
That's fair.
Okay. So let's see here. Okay. And while this is occurring, you feel like a bit of a sense of magic float about you, and you see like Quell kind of wave his hands a bit, and he'll be like, "All right, so shockingly, I know you've all told the truth.
Yeah.
What reasons would we have to lie?
You just, if your story is true, and I do know it is, you just came from hell, land of devils, known pathologic liars.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
But I mean, we're not
We're not devils. Have you
looked
seen a
around
devil
as a
before?
group, be like,
Oh, yeah.
we're not devils.
Yeah.
I've seen many devils, and again, fortunately, you are all telling the truth.
Yes.
That's
So,
a relief.
It is. So I suppose, and myself, and obviously the city, maybe the entire mortal material plane, should thank you for saving this city.
You're welcome.
Yeah, no problem. It was, we went through some stuff. I made friends. These fuckers tore them all away from me. And
He made
here we
one
are.
friend, and we found out it was an actual demon pit fiend.
Yep. And
Fine. We'll
and
find you another friend.
we didn't give them a chance to redeem themselves, but at the end we could redeem the other archdemon, but that's fine,
Well, because he
fine.
never came back. It's not saying that he can't
we
redeem
never had a
himself. He
chance.
just has to come back. He hasn't come
Yeah.
back.
because you made them leave.
The other option was try to fight Zariel, and I did not see that going well for us, Brandon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying we shouldn't have redeemed Zariel. I'm just saying we shouldn't have sent my friend away.
Well, I'm willing to, now that I've seen an arch devil be redeemed, I'm willing to redeem a pit fiend. We just have to run into him again.
That's not ideal.
Why not? We've seen it happen. All you need to do is like find their sword that like has their soul or something.
Simple.
Yeah.
It only took us a
Easy.
week and a half in Avernus time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we did it.
like it barely even mattered. Yeah.
We literally just did it.
Okay. Now I know you're not all being entirely truthful.
What do you mean? I mean,
How-
I did
how
learn how to
long-
drive a car.
How long did it take you down there?
I mean,
Like a
we
week
were
and a
down there
half.
for quite a while.
How long were we?
Time down there
Time stopped
is
having
kind of
meaning.
elastic.
Yeah.
So up here, you think of time as a constant, where the sun rises and sets at about the same time every day. But down there, A, there's no sun, and also B, there is not a consistent time. So you
Yeah.
can drive from here, you can walk from here to the other side of town, ride on your horse, whatever, and it would take 5-10 minutes one way, and then you could go and try to come back, and it could take you days.
Yeah. And it's hard to tell because the whole ground is just toenails. So it's like you can't even tell how far you've gone because it's just more toenails.
So in all honesty, we don't know how long we were down there. We were just going off of what the townsfolk were saying
Okay.
about how long they felt it was.
It was probably some like 400,000 toenails worth of time. Would you guys agree?
No, I would not agree.
Oh, do you think it's 500,000?
No, I don't think that's a measure of time.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like, I think
No.
how many we drove over.
No.
Yeah, it's not a measure of time yet. Maybe someday.
I mean, I feel like that's the closest thing there is to time measurement down there.
No.
I'm gonna make it work.
All right. So, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna move off this topic now. This is so much.
It's very strange. There's a lot going on here, and I don't blame you.
So, suffice to say, though, the other big thing, I suppose, that's been going on since you've been gone, I guess, to catch you up. Have any of you ever heard of anything called a death curse?
I don't think so.
Have I?
Maybe.
Can I make like some sort of history check or something to see if I can recall that?
Or Arcana?
A check? Is this D? What do you think this is? D&D? Yeah, make me an Arcana check.
Can I make a history check or an Arcana
22.
check as well?
Yeah, Arcana checks
15.
for all who would like to make one. Okay. Wow, Clyde, my God. So learned.
Rolling hot. This is the most intelligence I've ever shown.
15.
Okay, cool. So, you have all heard of the concept of the death curse. Basically, it's not the sort of like revenge curse that it sounds like it might be. What it is when you die, normally, one can employ the services of someone like Naoma, but definitely not Naoma, to bring your soul back into your own body, heal your body, and bring you back to the land of the living. As long as your soul is willing, it's usually something that can be done. This is just sort of, everybody knows revivification magic. It's a thing. However, if the soul is not willing or is prevented from coming back to the body in some way, then that's it. Death is death.
Are you saying we're dead?
No, you're not dead. And I think you may actually be uniquely suited. So, you've heard of the death curse. And Clyde,
I'm sorry.
you with your role, you also know that, like, with certain death curses that you've heard of, it's not even a matter of, like, death is death. Your soul doesn't always even go where it's supposed to go.
Where does it go?
I was going to say, what
lost.
What do we know a death curse does in general? Is it just that you can't be brought back?
Yeah. To sum it up, yeah, you know that you can't be brought back for some reason.
Okay.
So you're like, yeah, we know what a death curse is. So Quell will be like, okay, there is currently one right now.
Who's it on?
What do you mean by currently a death curse?
Is it on you?
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, yes. I'm one person who is affected by it. Anyone who has died before and has been brought back through magic or the grace of divine influence, we are wasting away. We are dying. And those who have died recently have not been able to be brought back, even by the most powerful of us.
Oh, that's very bad.
Indeed.
Why do you think that is?
Well, we've had some reports, my organization and I, in looking into this. And I definitely have a personal stake, so this sort of has my highest attention. But we think that someone has created or revived some magical device. The rumored name we keep hearing is Soulmonger. And we think that it is, in essence, stealing the souls of the dead and preventing them from either returning to their bodies during a ritual, or revivification, or resurrection, or at the same time also preventing those souls from finding their place in whatever afterlife they happen to belong to.
That's bad.
Indeed.
Boy,
Why don't you
okay.
stop it?
Well, I can't. Because again, I've died before, so I might not make it. So what I need is a group of people, highly skilled, preferably having not died before, and maybe even with the added bonus of not being affected by the death curse at all, to find someone, to find the person who's doing this, and stop them.
Do you want us to go find someone for you that could do that?
Naoma will glance over to Thran. Should we do this?
I mean, what are the stakes here? Like, this sounds like it's pretty high stakes if every soul that's dying, every person that's dying, and their soul is being consumed by this soulmonger.
It's definitely not ideal.
No.
Yeah, so
And
it sounds like we gotta. So,
And Quell will look Naoma up and down and just be like, have you ever heard of anyone named Kanua Kelly?
You'll see Naoma's eyes narrow and her expression gets like very serious, even for her normal, like, reserved self. She's just like, I have. We're actually, Thranton and I,
I'll lean in and like, isn't
being
that
dragged down into Avernus.
that's the name, right?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Oh.
He was a high priestess from my village, who took off one night, and I believe we are searching for him, but we haven't found anyone who has even known that name in the time that we've been journeying.
It's a name that we've heard in connection with the Soulmonger. Don't know the connection, to be fair. I do not know if he is wrapped in it, or is a pawn, or is the one to blame. I honestly don't know. But I do believe they're the ones that need to be found. And hopefully, you find them, you'll be able to stop this and save everybody.
That is definitely something that we would be more than happy to help with.
Are there any
or at least Thranton and I would be. She'll glance over to Clyde and what was previously Melissa Kiss's shade, and just be like, I know this is kind of out of your wheelhouses, but I think we work well together. Would you mind helping us with this?
Are there any demons or devils involved?
Possibly. We don't know what the Soulmonger is, but it is very possible that it could be some otherworldly entity. And it's certainly having a negative effect here on the souls of the living and soon to be dead and the dead.
So one thing I can tell all of you is Colonel Kelly began worshiping the Lord of Bones, Miracle, And so I don't know if that falls in line with your hatred of demons and devils, Clyde, but think about what I do, but worse.
Okay. I mean, yeah. It seems like this could be some like evil fiendish thing maybe connected. So yeah, sure, I'm in.
We'll be gone for 6 months. You got anything else planned?
What about you? Question marks.
Well, I have nowhere to go, and you are all I know. So, sure, I will go with you.
Maybe this is how we can help you find your way.
So Quell, you said you've died. What's that situation?
Like, are you asking what it was like, or?
Like, what led to it? How are you back? Like,
Oh, I see. I was torn in half by a bullet.
oh,
A burrow shark,
Ouch.
some people call it. Yeah, it was awful.
Looks like you got better.
I did. Through the grace of Helm, I was brought back because my task was not yet done.
the grace of Helm, you say?
Indeed. He's the one who I serve,
Um,
and I do work to bring his light to the dark places of the world.
So can you and I talk about some stuff that happened to me while we were down in Avernus?
Like what?
Well, so we were doing a thing, and I got sucked into a mud puddle, and I was like going down, and I was trying to keep people out of it, and I was about to drown, and then all of a sudden I just felt this upwelling of, I couldn't explain it, upwelling of light, and now I can do this, and I like spark a light spell, a light cantrip. And I'm like, I don't know where this came from. I don't understand any of this. I mean, I was a paladin. I was, trying to fulfill my duties of protection and fealty to Naoma here, because my previous my the place that I came from was destroyed. So I found somebody else to sort of attach myself to and work with, and I just don't know where this new magic has come from.
Well, may I?
Yeah, I don't know what you're gonna do, but yeah, do it.
And he'll reach up and he'll actually put his hand right on your forehead. So he's got to reach up a bit of a ways. He's kind of tall, but he's not.
I'll lean down when I realize what he's
yeah,
doing. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not your height. But he'll reach up and he'll put his hand on your forehead. And he will do a thing. Okay. And to the rest of you, nothing really seems to happen for a second. But Thranton, everything else except you and Quell is going to go glossy white. And Quell, where Quell was standing, you are now pretty much toe to toe with a tall, golden armored figure who is just radiating light.
And so like taller than me?
Oh yes.
Okay, so I'll do that because I was leaning down, and I'll do like the slow pan up because I don't look up at people often. I'm like, hello, hi, you're big.
Yeah. We've spoken before. Briefly.
Have we?
Very briefly. I know you. I know your deeds.
I'm sorry that I don't remember.
It is okay. You were far, far from my gaze. Far from my reach. But you're here now. What questions do you have?
I guess we'll start with who are you? Who are you?
I am Helm.
Holy shit! I'm sorry. Um. Okay. Hi. Wow. That's a lot. So do you know what happened to me?
To an extent. You fell briefly into despair, but awoke because your task was not yet done. Those you sought to protect still needed your protection. And you knew this.
Yeah. That sounds. Yeah, I get that feeling. Yeah.
And this awoke a spark within you, an inner light that was always there. But now you can touch
Okay.
that light.
Okay. So that's why. That's okay. That's what I'll do. Like the word of radiance, sort of like AOE blast. That's why I can do this.
And yeah, and the figure will nod.
Okay. Um. So you granted me this power, or have I always had it?
You have always had it. But it is a light of protection, and therefore connected to me.
Okay.
For I am
Is
here to
there?
protect those who need protecting, and watch those who need watching, and aid
I'm all
those who
about
do
that
the
life.
same.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Um. Is there something that you need from me?
I would like your word. I would like your word that you will continue down this path of watchfulness and protection. Because look at that face.
Yeah, right? We're doing something. It's important. Yeah, of course. I see no reason why I couldn't do that. I have, and I'll gesture to where Naoma was, not processing that Naoma's not there right now. I'll be like, I have people that I need to protect and people that I care about. So of course.
And there's the figure will nod a bit, and then your senses will return to you. Everything will dim back to normal light and senses. Everybody's standing around you. Quell's got his hand on your forehead, and he'll back up, and he'll just look at you and just look you right in the eyes and be like, "I see."
Naoma's just looking back and forth between the two.
Yeah, you guys just saw Quell walk up, put a hand on a forehead for
Pop
like
in the
2
head.
seconds, and then back up.
Can I make an insight to see if that was anything that was, if it was good or like there was any ill intent behind that?
You can make a. Go ahead and make a religion check.
Religion? Okay. 11.
Okay. It was definitely. You can't pick up a lot of the subtleties of it, but obviously this is a cleric, did a thing to a paladin. So there was definitely some sort of connection or ritual moment there.
Paladin bros.
I'm gonna look at Thran and be like, "Are you okay?"
And I'm just sort of gonna like. So I'm still sort of looking downward now, back to where I was looking down towards Quell, and with like a glimmer in my eye, I'll look up and be like, "Yeah, I think I have a. I feel like I have a new purpose."
What's your purpose?
I don't know. I have to sleep on it. I have to.
Is it killing demons and devils?
I need time, and I'm gonna sort of like walk a few feet away, not completely out of the, just enough away to be out of earshot, just to sort of go and sit down for a second.
Yeah, give him a moment.
And I'm sorry, we've told you about ourselves, but who exactly are you, and what authority do you have to be sending us on a quest to fight, to find Count O'Kelly?
He'll straighten up and be like, I am Quell Thalas, cleric of Helm, commander in the Order of the Gauntlet. And beyond those authorities, the authority is my own. Like I said, I'm very, very interested in not having my body waste away and my soul stolen into some black pit of nothingness. So,
It's probably still better than Avernus.
maybe. I honestly don't know what would be worse.
Do you like toenails?
No. Please stop asking me about toenails. It's creepy.
Well, we just want to make sure we're very clear about the toenails.
And yeah, it'll just be like, so I have several authorities, temporal, spiritual, and personal. Which one would you like?
What's temporal?
Official.
Oh, why didn't you just say that?
It's a more fun word.
Oh.
And you worship Torm, you said? No, Helm, you said. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, he said Helm.
And then also he was the commander of the what?
The Order of the Gauntlet. It's an organization that you know it, you've all heard of it. It's an organization of clerics and paladins and basically a protective knightly order sort of situation. And they are very anti-devil and demon in particular.
Do they?
Well,
would
I'm
I know
down
if they
with
worship,
that.
Would I know if they worship one god in particular?
You would know that they don't. They don't worship any one god, but there is a theme. There are a lot of people who worship Torm and Lathander and Helm. There were definitely, like, before El Terrell fell, they were definitely very welcome in El Terrell, and this temple in particular. But they generally worship any good or lawful gods.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll look around. You said there were soldiers here with him.
Yeah, you've seen soldiers and clerics going around. There are a fair amount of like clerics that now that people have come out, they're actually like tending to people, giving them food, healing them where necessary.
Well, then I guess we know where to find you in the future. I'm sorry, I didn't realize we were speaking to the commander of the Order of the Gauntlet.
Well, a commander. I'm not the guy in charge, but my name carries weight in a lot of areas.
Well, good to know. Whoever is above you must be an incredibly admirable being.
They're all right. So, my next question. Have any of you ever heard of Chult?
No, what is that?
Can I make a history?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make a history check on that. It's not. Get it.
My rolls tonight are terrible. 9.
9. So you don't know a lot of the specifics of Chult, but you do know that Chult is a place. You know that it is it's peninsula somewhere down south.
Yeah, I know it's the south, but other than that, I don't know much about it.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
Because
do you believe Count Kelly's down there?
We think so. The last we heard, he was headed to or looking for passage to the main port down there, Port Nyanzaru. And it's really the only city on the peninsula that is currently standing, and we think that he may have gone into one of the ruined cities of Chult. There's a couple, to be fair, deep in its jungles, and we think that is where he and the Soulmonger may be.
Cool.
How far of a journey is it down there?
Oh, many weeks by boat, but if you guys are free, say now, I could get us there momentarily.
I mean, I don't have anything scheduled for now.
Would it be possible to give us a day to rest? I mean, we did just come directly out of Avernus.
That's true, yeah. Well, I'll leave that up to you. I can give you a day. You can spend the day here in this ruined city. Or there are some lovely inns. Well, there are inns in Chult that you could certainly stay in and rest.
Will you pay for them?
I've gotten up and walked back to the group, and I was like, I'd like an inn.
Do we have any money? Like, how much money do we have? We've been in Avernus for a long time.
You guys have, you'll just have whatever coin and treasure that you got while you were down there, which may not be a ton.
250 gold.
Naoma pulls out a flask of demon ichor and be like, I've got this.
Don't.
I don't think it's worth anything though.
Don't wave that around.
Don't get it on anybody.
Yes.
I've got enough to spend in an inn, so let's please go to an inn.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I have a good amount of gold too. Weird.
Yeah, I have 250 gold.
I mean, it's not like you guys spent it on anything while you were down there.
And we have gems and stuff, and we got enough. We'll figure it out.
I gave my gem away.
I got gems and stuff. Clyde, I'll get you a room and I'll get you a drink. Just please.
Cool. I'm in.
Well,
I'm in.
before we take off, then I would just like to go and make sure the townsfolk are okay one last time.
Certainly. I'll be here.
Are they okay?
I'll be around. In general, yes. In
All
general,
right.
people are
We
fine.
solved it.
As okay as they can be.
As okay as they can be.
We figured it out.
Everyone that you approach, though, offers thanks, and some of them cry when they see you. At least one guy is like, I could have sworn that you were all going to go off to die, and we were all going to die.
It didn't happen.
But you did it.
There was a chance of that happening.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah, there was. Uh-huh.
what's important is we're here now, I guess.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm gonna specifically find both Rhea and three people: Rhea, Faria, and Duke Ravengard, and just give them a quick rundown of what happened. And then basically, leave them with like, everything should be okay though. Zariel is no longer the Archduke of Avernus. So the contract that was pulling Elturel down into Avernus is presumably void. And then just let them know that they can, if they ever need anything, they can contact us again.
Is Mike Wazowski still following me around?
Oh, I forgot about Mike. I so desperately wanted him to be gone that I just completely forgot about him.
What?
Just trying to wish him out of existence. That's rude. That's
Yep.
like
You can't
that
do
friend
that.
you're talking about.
I'm a bard now.
Literally my oldest friend.
So, yes. Your little spiky Modron friend is still hanging around, following
Don't
you
be
around.
jealous,
Are we
Thranton.
sure that Gilda didn't grab and do the portal?
Yes,
Are we sure?
I would have noticed.
Well, I'm sure.
I mean, we've had a conversation for a while.
I was thinking about something else.
I imagine that Mike Wazowski just kind of like motors around on the floor and then like tugs on the hem of Clyde's like shirt.
Yeah, that's what I think he does.
Yep. It's adorable, but the shirt's a little shredded in the corner.
Yeah. What's up, buddy? Stop cutting my clothes.
Okay. Yeah, the three that you go and find, they're all sort of together, and they're also talking with various paladins, trying to organize getting people back in whatever's left of their houses, and they're starting to make plans to rebuild. And the Duke in particular would be like, we cannot repay anything that you've done for us. Like, this was so great a task that you've saved an entire city. You've five? I thought there were five of you. You five are always welcome here in Elturel. And whenever we get this place fixed, you'll always be welcome to stay.
Well, we'll be sure to take you up on that when we come back through this way. But
as long as you don't end up in hell again.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully that won't happen, and sooner rather than later, this town can find some peace.
Just hoping. And if what you said about Zariel is true, that may come sooner than later. If we now have our guardian angel back.
Also,
Maybe.
I don't know if he's around here somewhere, but you want to be on the lookout for Gideon Lightward, I believe was his name. He was one of the priests. I don't remember the name of the temple we went to in the middle of the cemetery.
Yeah, the little chapel thing there. Yeah.
Yeah. He was at the chapel. He was previously, or he was under disguise as a high priest of Lathander. He's not anymore. I believe he was worshiping Zariel, if not something worse. But he had no hand in the plot to pull Elturel down. But he is not good for this city.
One of the paladins that's there he was sort of standing politely back while you were talking, but he's like, wait a minute. So what's up with this guy? Just be a dwarf paladin. He'll just walk up and be like, wait, what?
One of the citizens of the town, one of the local priests, was claiming to be a worshiper of Lathander, but is actually, or was a worshiper of Zariel. I should have mentioned this to Commander Quell back there, but it just occurred to me now talking with these three. He's definitely someone you want to keep an eye on. Gideon Lightward.
Okay. And the dwarf will walk away and he'll walk over towards the temple. And maybe about 30 seconds later, you see him and Quell walk out, and Quell's definitely got like a determined stride on him. He walks up to like past the group, and he's be like, "You guys keep on resting. I'll be back."
Okay.
And you see him and that paladin, and he'll wave over a couple other guys, and you see them stride off in the direction of the cemetery.
I follow them.
If you'd like.
I stealth. It's been a long time since I stealth.
It's true. How well do you
So
do?
long. 25.
Okay. Yeah,
Pretty okay.
Yeah, it's pretty all right. It's pretty okay. You've stealthed your way through the rubble of this city before. So, and now that there's the advantage of natural light and shadow, you're back in your element. So you're able to tail the group pretty well. And you see them walk to the gates of the cemetery, and you see that there are still skeletons and shit wandering around in the graveyard. Even now, despite the city's fall and return, the skeletons and zombies are still wandering around.
Is that just like how this town is? Like, it's like Castlevania all the time here?
The good news is you do see definitely the remains of some devils and demons around. So it seems like the undead were busy while they were there. But you see...
They're the defenders of the town.
You see Quell walk up to the gates of the cemetery, stride through the gates, and he'll raise his hand, and a shining light will come out of his clenched fist. And you'll just see a bunch of the skeletons turn to dust. The zombies just crumble down into their graves. You see them walk into the chapel. Do you follow, or do you stay outside?
Are any of them standing watch outside?
Yeah, there are. One of the guys, he does leave at the door.
Okay, then I'll just kind of like watch from here.
Okay. So after a couple minutes, from behind the chapel, you see a column of flame just kind of slam down from a cloud.
Oh no!
I will go investigate.
And so you sneak your way around, and when you come around, you see it was a building that you guys didn't investigate before when you guys were here the first time, but it looks like it's a little almost gazebo-looking thing. It looked like sort of the priest's retreat situation, like their chambers. And in front of it is now a 10-foot circle of ash. And a body, the remains of one, right dead center in that circle. And you see Quell walk over to it, poke it with a boot, and turn around. And he'll turn to one of the clerics he brought with him and was just like, okay, full sanctification. Make this place clean. Make this right, please. Fix this. And like, I'll be back later if you need a hand. And he'll start walking back towards the high hall.
All right, I'll sneak back to the group. And when I get back to Naomi, I'll just be like, I think it's taken care of.
What is taken care of? Gideon?
Yeah, I think he just got smited into oblivion.
Could we see that giant mote of flame from where we were?
Yeah, if you were looking in that direction, yes. Oh, yeah. A little far away to hear, but yeah, you definitely just...
Huh. Well, that's one problem we won't have to deal with, and the townsfolk won't have to deal with, at least.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to like slice off his head once you reminded me that he was around. But I think this is better.
Yeah, we can let them handle this one.
Oh, it's handled.
There is one more thing I would like to do in town before we leave.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull out my compass that I got from Gilda.
Oh, okay.
Which points to the tavern across the street from her shop, or used to. I don't know if it still does, if I open it and look at it. And I'm going to follow it through the streets to basically where her shop was.
Okay. All right. Yep. Yeah, it'll still point in that direction, and after, weaving through, backtracking a little bit because more buildings collapsed, after a couple minutes, you're able to get onto her street and go over towards the shop.
Did everyone come with me, or is everyone else just waiting?
I'm still waiting, and I'm still just sort of processing the shenanigans that happened to me.
I'm kind of milling about, and as I do this, I'm looking a lot like Clyde, but kind of like white, teal in coloration. And I still got the little horns, and I'm just kind of like looking at his face and studying it.
He?
Yep.
Oh, I'm probably hanging out with Moon Color.
I'm just like, yeah, just up in your business. So the two of us are hanging out with the horse.
And I'm like trying to get info from the unicorn about how to strike lightning onto devils, and you're just staring at my face.
Yeah.
Sweet. Should I roll charisma?
For what?
I roll charisma. 13. How handsome am I?
About a 13's worth, on a scale of...
on a scale of 1 to 10,
1 to 20?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a 1 to 10, you're a 13, my friend.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of wandering around, like, and there's this weird sense of like, kind of childish in a way, like really inquisitive. I'm looking at a bunch of things like I've never seen them before, and yeah, I look up to Naoma to see that she's gonna go somewhere, and I'm like, oh, that sounds fun. So I walk over,
Cool.
still looking like Clyde.
Can you just change what you look like?
Well, yeah, I don't have a set form, I guess.
Interesting. Do you have to be able to see them? Could you look like Thranton? Or me?
Yeah, I think so. I try to look like Thranton. It probably works. But still with that, like, that kind of, like,
The colors aren't quite right.
like, well, I mean, yeah, like, it's just very ghost-like coloration. Bluish. Monotone.
Interesting.
Not monotone. Whatever the term is.
Monochromatic.
Monochrome.
That one.
Yep.
Like a Game Boy.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
watching
like
Game Boy.
Beep boop. I'm a video game.
Yeah. You're BMO.
So when we get to the remains of Gilda's shop, which was already pretty destroyed, I'm just gonna kind of take a quick look around and then sit down, cross-legged on the ground, and just start playing and singing a song of like what would be considered like passage or like moving on for the souls that were lost in the town.
Okay.
And for maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, and then just get up and look at Maleficus's shade and be like, all right, guess we should head back.
Like a requiem?
That sounds good. I look around some more. Been looking around the whole time, and I'm like, I should have a stick. So I just manifest a stick, and I have a quarterstaff now.
And it's important to know, as you two are looking around, like, you saw the place before. You know, messy, but, you know, put together. It had sort of been raided a little bit. Someone had clearly gotten in trying to look for stuff the last time you were here. When you're here now, the place is empty. But it doesn't look like it's been ransacked per se. But you do notice on the counter there is a wicked looking knife jammed in the counter. And Maleficus and Naoma, or question marks and Naoma, you can both make a quick history check for me.
22.
Oh.
Only if I can find it on the sheet. 15.
Okay. You both recognize, because you've both seen it before, that is one of the nasty-looking knives that are usually carried by red caps.
Oh.
And you last saw them at Fort Knucklebone.
What's why nice?
If we go up before we head back, noticing that, I'll go in. Does it look like there's anything it's pinning to the counter, or is it just stuck in the counter?
Looks like it's just stuck in the counter. There's no note or anything stuck in it. Doesn't look like they stabbed something to the counter.
I'll go and pull it out of the counter and just stick it in my bag.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then head back to the high hall.
Okay. And when you all get back, Quell will be staying there and be like, so is everybody rested? Everybody ready to go? Or do you want to spend the night here?
I'll
No, I
sort of
think we're-
exhaustedly be like, please, we need in place, go, please.
We're ready to go, Commander Quell.
All right. So with that, he will say, all right, everybody bring it in. And he'll draw a circle on the ground in the dirt and debris that is in the courtyard. And he'll say, all right, everybody in the circle.
I'll stand next to Thranton and step into the circle.
I step into the circle.
I also step into the circle.
All right. And Quell will...
The end.
That's it.
That's it. We're all dead.
We did it.
You are teleported back to hell. This was all a lie. Quell's a devil.
Oh, what a jerk.
I knew it.
There's no
I
campaign
should've
2.
sensed.
Yep. Ha! No, you guys will... he'll hold up a hand and utter an incantation. And after a weird moment of displacement where everything kind of tastes purple for a second, you appear... There's a pop, and now you are standing in a marketplace. Not in a marketplace per se, but you are now standing at the edge of a bustling marketplace. Sun is shining, it's humid, it's hot. Much like it is outside where we live today. And
Wow.
And
So real.
there's people coming and going of all races and shapes and sizes. You're pretty sure you see a dinosaur walking around pulling a cart. And Quell will say, all right, welcome to Chult. And we will take a break. And yeah, we'll be back in a couple minutes. Just gotta refill the waters, use the facilities. Go ahead and take a drink yourselves. Stay hydrated. It's hot. It's very hot. Stay hydrated. But we will be right back. Athreos will be back as well. Oh, he's such a good boy. We will be right back. And hope you'll be back with us. See you soon. Hello, and welcome back. So, y'all now in Schultz. Specifically, you are in Port Nyanzaru, which is the walled city merchant capital of the peninsula. Big trading port. Um, and yeah, so you are here. Quell is here with you. Um, and he'll point out two inns sort of across the market square from each other, and he'll just say, "All right, so that one over there is the what's the? It has a fun name. That one over there is the Thundering Lizard. That one's there more if you want to get a little wild, or over here, Kaya's House of Repose. That one's a bit more laid back, a little bit more chill."
Chill sounds appropriate.
Yeah.
We've had a time.
We have had a time. I'm indifferent. I'll choose whichever one the group chooses.
Naoma will inherently start walking towards the one that is not the Thundering Lizard.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
Kaya's
Kai.
House of Gentle Repose.
just repose. Just repose. No gentle repose. And
A harsh repose?
A very aggressive repose.
Passive aggressive repose.
So that is okay. So there you are. I'm just looking at. Oh, by the way, this map, which is the details are far too small for you guys to see. I'll send you guys this in a moment.
Okay.
So you can actually look at it. This is.
Are you making fun of us? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Are you making fun?
Yeah.
I think ours is
Smelt
making
it
fun of
right.
us.
But yeah, this is the port. You guys are actually just about where my thumb is, more or less, in that general area of the city is where those two inns are. So you're pretty much right near the heart of everything. Yeah, if you guys would like to go straight to the inn, it is sort of down here. It's definitely at a different latitude, longitude than El Terrell was. The sun is much lower in the sky here. It is sort of getting
There's
towards
a
night.
sun?
There is a sun, and it's doing normal sun things. It looks like it starts in one spot, moves in an arc, and then ends in another spot, and then goes away for a minute. But
This is madness.
you're pretty sure it'll be back in the morning.
You never know with them suns, though. They're wily ones.
It's true. It's true.
It's true.
And yeah, Quell will like walk with you there, and he'll
So a couple questions.
Mhm.
Question marks. What do you currently look like?
At this point, I've probably taken the appearance of just some random person in town here. Possibly a tabaxi. I probably transformed to look like them while I was extending my hand to say, "Hi, I'm new in town."
Okay.
"Hi, I'm new here. Now I look like you." That's how we do this, right?
Now
And
I'm you.
So, as we're walking towards the inn, I want to be sort of scanning the shops left and right,
Mhm.
and I'm looking for a cloth shop, like a clothing shop.
Okay. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of shops. There's a stall and market for basically everything. And you notice that the locals, everybody is just wearing a riot of color. Like nobody's wearing drab colors here. Everybody's got bright colored pants, shawls, shirts, skirts, headdresses. Like people don't go subtle here with the clothes. So you see also a bunch of there's like a dye works that you see, like where they're actually dyeing clothes out and drying them in the sun on the street. You see multiple clothing vendors, so there's definitely a place for you to get new threads if you feel the need.
Okay. Yeah. So, I'm gonna sort of imply that. How far away is this inn that we're heading towards? Can we see it? Is it like a just down the road type of thing?
Yeah, you guys showed up pretty close to it, in the market ward of the city. So yeah, you can pretty much see it across the square from where you are.
Okay. Um, so I'm going to point at the inn and say, okay, so that's where we're going, right? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go to the shops. I'll meet you guys over there. I'll catch up with you.
How hot is it here? I'm assuming since you said it's south of where we were, and Faerun is kind of northern-esque.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit cooler. So is it like comfortable tropics, or is it like 90 degrees and super humid tropics?
90 degrees and super humid.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like think Belize.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll head while Thranton's doing that. I would just I'll head to the inn.
Okay. All right.
I
So
also go to the inn.
okay. Question marks. Where would you like to go?
I probably continue to wander around town, occasionally introducing myself to someone, looking like them, and wondering why they think that's weird.
And they all think that's weird. Like it's like some people like it's a mix. Like some people are just like, or even just, why are you talking to me? That's weird. I don't know you. And then there are some people who are like, they're like, oh hi, and then the face they notice, and they're like, okay, now it's weird. There are a couple people that actually like when they see you do that. There are some folks that actually make like warding signs with their hands, like it's just like
And when I see that, I probably do the wording sign back because I think it's a greeting.
and then they're just like,
Ah, yes.
at least one person just kind of
We
like
went.
just kind of goes into a shop and just sort of walks out of the door frame. But yeah, you find all variety of people. Like you see several tabaxi walking around solo in groups. There's tieflings. You see a dragonborn wandering around. Bunch of dwarves. Humans certainly all over the place. Elves. You name it. Neon Zaru's got it.
All right. Probably after a few hours of that, I I come back to the inn, or I go to the inn for the first time, I guess. It's only ever been pointed out to me, looking like a tiefling.
Okay. Looking like a tiefling. All right. So for Thranton, you are able to find. Let's see. Okay, yeah. In particular, the area that the inn is in is sort of like like the normal commercial bazaar. These are goods for everyday citizens. It's not like trade goods and raw materials and things like that. So it's pretty easy for you to go ahead and find a clothier out there. And yeah, what you'll see, it'll be a like a dark furred tabaxi cat person will just be sitting behind behind a rack of clothes and cloth, and just be like, "Yes, what can I get you?"
And so I'm going to step in and say, so I have a very specific request. Um, so I'm looking for a. So this is hard. So forgive me. Um, the town that I was originally from was destroyed, and a dear friend of mine recently. Let's just say they're gone. Um, and I want to sort of carry on their memory a little bit. So I want to get a like a an overcloak in their colors. So I'm looking for something that has like a dark jade green with a white border and maybe some gold accents or something like that. Is that something you could do?
Hmm. Yes, yes, I believe so. Yes, that is. So, were we looking for a cloak or a full suit, perhaps for the gentleman? What would you?
Oh no, just a
Three
cloak
piece?
with a cloak with a simple hood would definitely do the trick.
Okay. And he'll start like ruffling around bolts of cloth and start pulling out, various colors to like suit your liking, and he'll let you pick the ones. It actually takes him a minute to just find just basic white cloth. Like it's just like not a lot of people ask for this one. But after a minute he'll pull out, you know, some broadcloth, and he'll pull out a some dark green fabric that you described, and he'll be like, eh, 3 silver, come back tomorrow.
Okay, done deal. Pay now or pay later?
Pay now.
Pay now. Okay. I'm going to give him a gold piece and say, keep the change. Please do it. Please treat this with the respect that it deserves.
Oh, of course, of course.
And then I'll make my way back to the inn.
All right. So as Clyde and Naoma specifically, as you get to the inn, Quell will come in with you, and he will hand each of you a map, um, and one of them is a map of the city, and another one is a map of Chult. Um, the map to the city is pretty well detailed. It's not quite like an OOB tourist map like you find on a diner map, but it is like actually, a pretty reasonable map. There are numbers and there's a key as far as like what's where and what part of the city's what. The map of Chult is a little weird. As you look at it, the the coastline and a few specific mountains, those are pretty filled in and detailed, but there is a lot that is just blank in the middle.
I'll point to it and be like, well, this is all empty?
Yep. I mean, it's not physically empty. It is full of jungle and swamp, and rivers, mountains. But Chult is notoriously hard to map accurately because people tend to not come back. My own organization, the Order of the Gauntlet, we've set up 2 camps in the jungle to fight the undead that live out there. One camp was lost, destroyed, utterly. The other is holding on, but that's one sort of trouble that prevents accurate mapping out there.
Oh boy. I'm trying to. Where are we on the map?
On the big map, you guys are
Dead north.
way up
Portland is,
north.
yeah.
Yep. pretty much at the tip,
Oh, okay.
at the northern tip of the peninsula.
It threw me off because the other
It's
map
twisted, yeah.
is down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Took me a second too.
Why can't they just draw all their maps with the same orientation?
Because that would make sense.
Yeah, if you look at the port one, it's actually got north to the right. It's really wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something they like to do in the book, and it.
Oh, it's because the book would be oriented, you know.
Yeah. I think in that one case it makes sense because you'd have to be looking at it like this all the time, which obviously you can do. Like, this is one of the beauties of books. You can kind of turn them any way you'd like.
Wait, what?
I mean, I can turn my monitor any way I like.
Yeah, it's true. There's keyboard shortcuts for that stuff. It's great.
True. If you want to prank a coworker, it's a great way to do it. That is if you work with coworkers anymore.
Would it be possible for you to mark the places mark the place where your camp is fighting off the undead? So maybe if we end up close to them on our search, we can use them as a source of respite or even help them out if need be?
Yes, absolutely. That is actually already on the map. And he'll point towards, there is sort of one of the green fingers that comes down on the northern end of the map. There is a little stretch that is filled in, and there are 2 marks on it. One of them is an X for Camp Righteous, and then there's one that's a little bit further in. It's a square for Camp Vengeance. And he'll point out, and it's like, let me mark that on your map. It'd be like,
one of those sounds evil.
Well, Camp Righteous is the one that fell. That one, the ruins and the remains of the camp will be there. Fort Vengeance, or Camp Vengeance, was created afterward, deeper in the jungle for some reason I cannot fathom. But they decided to go hard, and bless them, they're still out there. But that's a decent launching point into the jungle itself. You can travel by river to get to the camp, but after that, you may be able to continue by river. You may also have to go by foot. It's not clear. But that is, as far as we're aware, one of the last bits of actual civilization before it's just untamed jungle and undead and dinosaurs and goblins and whatnot. The other place that he'll point out is sort of on the little bit more towards the east. He'll point out a dot that is marked Kir Sabal. And he'll point that out and be like, and this is somewhere up in the trees around this area is a town community of Arakakra who call the jungle home. That may also be a safe haven. They're known to be welcoming to visitors if they make it that far and need help. But it is rather isolated. Easier to get there if you have wings, naturally.
That would make sense.
Wow, okay. This is a lot of land to cover. Where do you have any suspicion other than just here somewhere that Ken O'Kelly might have gone?
Not really. We think that one of the rumored cities that we've heard the name of is the lost city of Omu. And we think that in particular is the city that the Soulmonger would be hidden and where your acquaintance may be found. We don't know the specific location. We know that it is south of Camp Vengeance, but more than that, we don't really know. As far as finding your way through the jungle, you may want to enlist the help of a guide. There are many guides, who some know the jungle better than others. Most of them have an ulterior motive or agenda, but you may be able to find help at least charting a course to get there, possibly.
Would any of your men be willing to help us as a guide?
Likely not. Not directly. You may find somebody who's able to help you out, but most of the Order of the Gauntlet is committed to fighting off the area around Camp Righteous and Camp Vengeance, trying to reclaim the bits of jungle that are closest to the city.
Well, that's certainly unfortunate, but
It is.
nevertheless, I guess we will seek out a guide then.
There are many, and you may be able to, a lot of them advertise, to be honest. A lot of them you can find handbills and ads for their services here and there. You'll actually look around a minute and you'll see a cork board over by the door and be like, yeah, that seems like a likely place. And yeah, you do see a bunch of bits of parchment pinned to the board, like a good show board.
Well then, I guess we'll ask around. And how should we report back to you on what we've found, or?
I mean, sure. I don't know how you would, to be honest.
Well, I mean, I can cast sending.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah, if you feel like you have the time to keep me updated and appraised with the situation, I would appreciate it.
yeah, we can most certainly do that. Every time we discover something of note, likely won't be every day, but as we find out new information.
And at this point, Thranton, your negotiations would be done, so you'll be coming into the inn.
Okay.
I would assume we've got the maps out, on the table, kind of looking at them.
And I'll sort of point at the two and be like, so that looks like where we are, and
this is also where we are.
I'll look at these tomorrow, and I'm just gonna sort of sit down and I'm just gonna chill. I'm just gonna relax.
And Quell will say, so I can certainly put you up for the evening. That's no problem. That's fine. Just a bit of thanks to get you on your way in this task that you're undertaking for me. We'll see about any other expenses, but I will be leaving tomorrow to head back to the mainland.
Oh wow, tomorrow. I was sure you were going to leave before the night was out.
I've got some business in the city, some things to check up on before I leave. But yeah, no, I mean, just because I've died once doesn't mean I'd want to die of exhaustion, my friend. Everybody needs a good nap.
I don't.
We definitely, well, except for Clyde here, could use a good nap.
Yeah, I just meditate for a while.
And Quell, also an elf, will be like, knowing look, be like, exactly. And at this point, question marks, you will also be arriving back. Who do you look like now? Oh, that's right. You come in looking like a tiefling.
Just a random tiefling. Like, wow, this town sure is the place, huh?
It is. It is. Now, I will say, you shouldn't leave unprepared for the jungle. Certainly stock up on supplies, um, the necessities. The jungle is a terrible place. It's just, it just is. It's awful. So the basic supplies will be a necessity out there, as long as anything else you think you may need on the trip. Um, and as I will say, take your time preparing. If you want to stay in the city a few days and get everything set up and ready, maybe take in the sights before you walk into the dark heart of the jungle. You can certainly do so. There's plenty of things going on in this fantastic little port to catch somebody's attention. But I will say that time is a factor. And he'll take off one of his armored gauntlets, and he'll hold up a hand, and at like the tips of his fingers, you can start to see veins, but they're not like a good healthy like pallid color to go with the rest of his complexion. Like you see like dark little capillaries kind of around his fingertips.
Looking at it real quick, can I make a medicine check just from a distance? And as he takes his glove off.
Like, I don't want to touch it. But yeah, no, certainly.
17.
Yeah, that's bad. It honestly looks like it's like a bad infection almost. But the color's not right.
I can see why this is pressing then.
It is. And all of the divine magic at my power, I can only hold it off. It comes back.
When did this start?
For me, about a month ago. Others aren't. Others are advancing at a more rapid pace. Not sure why. There doesn't seem to be much logic with how or why.
Well, then hopefully it won't take us too long to find this soulmonger and Count O'Kelly, and we'll see where we go from there, I guess. Hopefully that solves this issue.
Hopefully.
You're sure this is going to solve this issue?
Well, it's all a lot of myths and legends wrapped up with rumors, so hopefully. I personally am putting a lot of faith in this. I'm not usually a put all of your eggs in one basket sort of person, but this is kind of it.
Isn't that just an easier way to carry eggs?
Yeah, but if you have two baskets and something happens to one basket, say you get bumped, you drop a couple eggs, you still got more.
Just don't drop them.
Clyde, it's like your swords, right? 2 is better than 1.
Yeah.
2 baskets of eggs are better than 1 basket of eggs.
Like a second sword is better than having just one sword.
Correct.
Okay. That makes sense.
So he only has 1 sword at the moment.
Why wouldn't you get a second sword?
Okay.
We'll sort this out later.
Sort it out?
We'll sort it out later. Yes.
So no. Why?
I think we all need a long night's rest where we're not constantly on the lookout of being murdered by a demon or devil or otherworldly creature. So I'm going to turn in, unless you have anything else pressing you need to tell us.
Nope, you guys have got pretty much all of the information that is available. Certainly,
Very good.
if you want to try and dig more up before you head out of the city, that's certainly an option. Somebody closer to the problem may know more than I do, but
I think that's a wise decision. Advice. I'm very tired. It's very hot. You can see like Naomi is pulling at her collar, just it's really hot.
It is. You may wanna find something that breathes.
First thing in the morning.
Is there a blacksmith here?
Oh yeah, there's definitely smiths and artisans and all kinds of stuff like that.
Are they still open or is it late?
The sun's not down yet. Some places are still open.
Can I go to a smith?
Yeah, if you'd like to head out, do that.
Yeah. So I'm going to go up to a blacksmith and I'm going to pull out my wasp leg swords that I got ages ago. And I'm going to put them on the counter and I'm going to be like, can I use these to make a good sword, please? And then I'll pull out my swords and be like, could I add them to these swords to make these swords stronger?
Before you left, did you say where you were going by chance?
No.
Okay.
Just out.
Yeah, I'm just gone.
Clyde, I wanted to ask. Wait, God, I can.
I guess I'll just go to the same blacksmith tomorrow with 2 wasp sword legs and ask for the exact same thing.
And yeah, the guy.
Who are these people?
The guy at the smith,
Mr. Smith, Mr. or Mrs. Smith.
Look at them, just be like, what are these? Look, pointing at the wasp leg. Yeah.
I killed them from a giant demon wasp, or I got them from them, and I thought they might make good swords. Or maybe they could be used to enhance a sword so that I can kill more demons and devils. I killed demons and devils, by the way.
A noble pursuit.
You want to hear about toenails?
Ask me where I fought these devils.
In the toenail sands of Avernus. So look at it and it'll be like, all right. I think for it's just he's picked up one of the wasp legs and he's just turning it over and just examining it and just be like, this came from looking at it, he's like, all right, so this definitely came from a creature, but this is, and he'll tap it on the anvil and it'll ring and it'll just be like, but okay. I think I can work with these.
Sweet.
It'll be when do you need them by?
How long will it take? I leave in the morning.
Well, for that, I could probably have one of these wasp legs made into a sword by tomorrow. If you want both of them made into swords, it'll be an extra day. And more money.
Okay. How much is it?
Probably be about 200 each.
200 each?
Hmm.
Let's start with the one. And I'll come back and get it in the morning, and hopefully I'll be able to commission you for the second one after that.
All right, sounds fair enough.
Do you need one of my swords to like base it on, or you use one of my swords to enhance that sword?
No, these will be new. I don't think I could merge. Like he'll pick up one of your scimitars and he'll pick up one of the wasp legs and be like, I don't know, holding up the wasp leg. I don't know if this is actually metal. So I don't know if I could actually combine this with this steel.
Okay.
But I could probably make this its own weapon.
Okay. Can you make the hilt similar at least?
You know, examine the hilt you got. Like, yes, yeah, I can certainly do that.
Cool. Do you want, when should I pay you? How about I give you half now and half when it's done?
Sounds good.
Cool.
So you're paying half for one now?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. 100 gold pieces, if you please.
Cha-ching.
All right.
And then I'll go back to the rest of the group.
Clyde appears.
Oof. Hey, can I borrow 150 gold from someone?
Why?
At this point, I'm probably like already headed upstairs.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, Quell has booked a room for each of you.
Sweet.
I'm still sitting down there because I'm too tired to like get up and go. You know that feeling. You're too tired to get up and go upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still sitting there, and when he walks in and asks for money, I'll be, why?
I'm getting some swords made out of those demon wasp legs.
Oh, I have wasp sword legs too. You want to get mine made?
Yo, I know this great smith.
How about this? I don't know how much he'll give you for 2 more wasp legs, but you could take them and offer them.
Okay. How much?
How much? I don't know. You gotta ask him that.
Okay. Deal.
But yeah, so you can take the 2 extra wasp legs, and here, take. So how much do you have? How much do you need? You need 150.
Yeah.
He's got to give you at least 50 a piece for those. So here, take another 50 from me, and you just pay me back.
Sounds good.
All right. So I'm gonna go subtract 51 from my resources. I didn't do the one from earlier. And so now I no longer have the 2 wasp legs. You now have 3 in your possession.
I do. I go back to the smith.
Okay, yeah, it's been like 5 minutes, so yeah, he's still there.
I'm back.
I say, hey, I got these legs.
What? Where are you getting these?
It's from the same wasp.
I found more.
Yeah.
Okay.
My friend was carrying them. How much do you want for them? Can I use them as a deposit to get the second sword made?
Oh, okay, I see. You want just give me these as raw materials for whatever I like, and then okay, I see.
Yeah. Like a barter thing.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's like a trading thing for money.
Look at him. It's like, well, I still don't really know what they're good for. They are pretty in a way. Give you 50 gold apiece.
That's great. That's exactly what the other guy said.
Weird.
Were you listening to our conversation?
No.
The blacksmiths here have ears everywhere.
They know.
Wild.
Like, wait. Watch that blue guy. Listen to him.
Follow him. All right, his buddy said 50 gold.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so for that, it'll still take the better part of tomorrow to get both done. But
Okay.
yes, this should be money and materials wise. Yeah, this is enough to get two done.
Sweet. All right. I'll probably pick up the next one in the morning, or the first one in the morning, just to give it a try.
Okay. Yeah, that should be fine.
Great. Thank you. And I'll go back to the hotel.
All right.
And when you get back, I'm gonna be like, so you do remember we got to buy like provisions to go out to the jungle, right? You didn't just blow all your money on this, did you?
What?
Don't worry about that later. No. Maybe we'll find some basic jobs to do tomorrow. We'll make a couple bucks. Who knows?
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I would like a job.
I don't even notice that question mark is sitting there. Stoically sitting there silent the entire time.
Yes. Yep.
Like, oh yeah,
Yep.
you can. Yeah, you're definitely gonna come with us. So whatever we do, you'll do with us.
I would like that. Thank you.
And at that, I want to. I'm gonna sort of push back from the table and say, well, I'm gonna go up to my room and I'm gonna rest. I will see you all in the morning.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And I'll go to my room and I'll meditate.
And I have no concept of how an inn works, so I lay down on a table, thinking that this is my room, shortly.
And the after maybe like 10 minutes, the innkeeper will like, having observed you for a while, it's this old dragonborn lady. She'll walk over and she'll be like, "You have a room upstairs."
Really, a room of my own?
Yeah. Third room on the right.
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I make my way up to the room.
And then lay down on the floor because you don't know what a bed is.
What are beds? I only know the adventuring life. All I know is hell. I'm like, oh, actually, I look at the bed. I'm like, that must be for someone important. And then I go sleep on the floor.
Yeah, when Thranton goes up, there's a little block of like lit incense in front of the room that he was told was his. It's very clearly like one of the ones that Naoma would use.
Naoma was here.
Wait, you lit incense in front of my door?
And then just like put it on the ground for you for later. That's what she did.
Maybe.
It's something you would have seen her do this in the past. Of like,
oh, okay. This is a thing you do. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll notice. Be like, oh yeah, okay. I will. I'll gently pick it up, open the room, and then set it on the table inside.
All right. So yeah, how does everybody spend their first night in inn with beds and bedding, no toenails to be seen? Like, how does everybody like spend this time? Because the last time any of you slept in a bed, you had a brief like kip on the floor at the Acquisitions Incorporated branch situation, but like the last time any of you slept in a bed was the night before you arrived in El Terrell.
I don't sleep especially well. I end up putting my bedroll out on the bed to try and have some sense of like normalcy, and that doesn't work out great. So I end up on my bedroll on the floor, and that doesn't work great either. And so I end up back in the bed, just trying it like a normal bed, and that does eventually work for me.
Yeah, no, like this is exactly that sort of thing. Like you guys have been sleeping on rocks and toenails and in the back seat of a Hellmobile for like you said, you don't know how long.
Yeah.
So like, but yeah,
For a minute.
so yeah, like Naoma, how do you spend your evening?
So she gets up into her room, and after leaving the incense for Thranton, she lights one for herself and puts it in the room, and lays down, thinking she's going to fall asleep, being incredibly physically exhausted, and then spends the entire night thinking about the souls that were lost at El Terrell, and then what is happening with Kano Kelly, and like spends the entire night just like obsessed and like cannot sleep, focused on these things, and does not sleep the entire night. And just like mills about the room, goes from laying on the bed to sitting on the floor to like tuning and fiddling with the skull, and just like not able to sleep at all.
Okay.
She actually at one point takes out the stones for Gilda,
Mm-hmm.
and is like, I don't know if this will reach you, but I really wish we had gotten a chance to say goodbye. I don't know what's in store for you, but I hopefully will see you sometime soon in the future.
Nice. It's very sweet. All right. Clyde, how do you spend your evening? With
I think I'm fine.
With your elf meditation.
I mean, I just sit cross-legged on a bed and zone out. 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I think Clyde's fine with it.
Yeah, is there anything that you like normally would do as you settle in for this? Like you're not actually, something that you would normally do when you weren't expecting to have to wake up to murder a devil at any moment?
No. So he just his routine is typically he just like looks around, like sits down, puts his hands on his knees, and then just like starts meditating. Just like being very present, and then until he basically zones out and empties his brain of thoughts, which is not difficult. He is both wise and stupid, so clearing his mind of thoughts doesn't take a lot.
It's the advantage of those high wisdom, low intelligence characters. Just saying.
Yep.
Like
My wisdom is literally double my intelligence stat.
You were not lying.
No.
Nope.
That is not lying. And question marks. You mentioned that, yeah, you don't fully know what a bed is because, yeah, like in your brief existence, you've never actually slept, have you?
No. No, so sleep is a foreign concept, but I do know that I know enough to know that it's a thing that people do. Surely I must need to do this too. So I lay on the floor for a while, and I kind of realized that I know who my companions are here, but I don't know who I am. And this is very strange. Because Maleficus isn't there to give me that kind of frame of reference. So I ponder for a bit, and yeah, I probably have a hard time sleeping, but I do sleep eventually.
And when you sleep, do you, like, you still kick it out on the floor, or do you eventually move up to the bed when you realize what discomfort is?
A good question. I'm probably still convinced that the bed is reserved for somebody else. I think that's a legitimate belief that I have. So I'm like, yeah, no, they'll come in and they'll need the bed, whoever it is. Because yeah, I don't know what it's like to be a person.
I think this makes sense for your reality.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what these things are, or there's some other corporeal being that needs this. But yeah, no, it is true. Maleficus, not Maleficus, question mark, ghost-like though he may be, is not a ghost. Definitely exists.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. You do exist. Yeah, you are a flesh and blood being now.
For the first time.
Yeah. So this is the whole.
So
the
yeah,
whole
all
thing.
of the memories I've perceived were as this incorporeal ghost situation. I kind of shared a consciousness a little bit with Maleficus, but not entirely. So I probably ponder on these things, eventually fall asleep, and then wake up early, dark 30, too early in the morning, and I just say to myself, maybe my name's Echo. That word was used for me before. That seems like a name. Maybe that's it. I fall back to sleep.
Does it feel like that name is echoing through your mind?
Hey. It's either Echo or my son, and my son doesn't sound like a name. I think that was an affectionate term.
Echo, my son. Jade.
Echo my son.
You did also say shade a lot. Just throwing that out there.
Throwing shade.
Just throwing some shade.
This is true. Shade was said many times.
True.
Let's see. And yeah, I'm trying to remember. I know Clyde only needs the 4 hours of meditation, being an elf. Thran needs full-on sleep. Naoma, half-elves actually
also
need sleep.
full-on sleep. Yeah.
Full-on sleep, and then changelings also full-on sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I like it.
I was gonna say, do you want us to take exhaustion or something like that?
No.
Welcome to Tilt, nerd.
Yeah.
See, the way that this is, even despite your assorted difficulties falling asleep and getting rest, this is still the safest, most restful night that you have had in a long time. So you will all gain the benefits of a long rest. HP back, spell slots back, abilities back, all of that's good.
Excellent.
And make sure you lose the modified HP from Hero's Feast.
Yes, that is true.
It did do that to me. Yep.
And I will say, nice. Back before we end, just before we end, we'll go through in the morning what you guys do in the morning. But you will all wake up or arise from your meditations friggin' starving. Because that Hero's Feast was the last thing you ate.
So in my struggles to sleep, I definitely wanted to be up early.
Okay.
And so we could probably do this next week, but I definitely wanted to go downstairs, and if there was no one manning the counter or the kitchen of this inn, I'm definitely cooking. And if there is someone there, I've talked to them and I was like, can I please let me?
Do we get a continental breakfast?
We will see. But yeah, with that, we'll go ahead and we will pause for the evening. We will be back next week with the continuation of this new adventure, which for those of you who have guessed, yes, this is Tomb of Annihilation, sort of. I can't ever run a book completely by the book, so there's definitely going to be some changes all the way through. So, but
You just lied to the stream.
No, I didn't. It's Tomb of Annihilation, kinda.
No. I mean, we won't be here next week.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we are taking a break this.
Or are we taking a break?
No, because
how are we managing this?
Well, we got at least one person who's not going to be available. Like Brian, you're not available next week, right?
I suspect we should take a break.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, we will take. Yeah. So I didn't lie. We're doing Tomb of Annihilation, but we will not be back next week because we got a couple players will be off. Don't want to run short-handed at the beginning of an adventure. So.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything. Absolutely everything.
That's never happened.
It's never happened. We've never started off an adventure badly ever, and it's never had consequences. But yeah, so we'll be skipping next Monday, at least as far as D&D. We may stream something else, we might not. We'll figure it out. We'll decide if we want to do something or just have a nice little break at the beginning of the summer. That said, Thursday night, we will be doing 5-hit list again. We will have a special guest. I believe the guest is Mel.
So Mick this week. We're doing
Mick this week. Mick this week. That's right. Mick this week. Mel's next time. Yeah. Mick will be back with us. She just bought a friggin' house, so congrats, Mick. She managed to buy a house in this economy.
Crazy.
It's not easy, let me tell you.
No. So we will be doing 5-hit list. We will be doing our top 5 film directors, and there are a number of predictions that we have all made that we'll see if they pan out about who's going to be on what list or who's going to top lists. The predictions vary widely. But we will be back doing that. And probably going to be doing, Wednesday, we'll probably be doing ships again. This time, I will remember to plug in my flight stick before we start playing.
Do it.
If any of you saw Wednesday's game this past time,
it went great.
It went great.
Well, you couldn't because you didn't start the stream yet.
Yeah, it's true. I had to start the stream late because I was fumbling like, why doesn't the joystick work? Why doesn't the joystick work? Oh God, I guess I'll have to fly mouse and keyboard. Okay, start the stream. The mission's already going. And trying to do a space flight sim on mouse and keyboard is garbage.
That's how I started playing it. It was not great.
No. And I don't even know why it's there as a backup, because it definitely sucks. It doesn't make you want to try and play the game and get good at all, because you can't. But then I found that one of my flight sticks, my throttle stick, which these fine people got for me for Christmas, was actually still plugged in and still working, but it thought it was the primary flight stick, and it's not supposed to be. So
Weird.
it
was
was
real interesting.
It was real interesting. There was a lot of yelling and, oh, that's what that button does. Okay. So we'll see if I manage to remember this time. But yeah, Wednesday we'll be doing some of that. Thursday, 5-hit list. And we'll see what happens from there. But until next time, on behalf of myself and my assembled players here, thank you for watching. Thank you for hopping on what is now episode 1, season 2 of Power Word Casual Presents Dungeons and Dragons. It's a big deal. So now's the time to jump back into an adventure. Just saying. Yeah, the characters are all established, but like, it's all new.
All new, baby.
All new, all fresh. And we will be back at a time to play more Dungeons & Dragons, and I hope that you do indeed join us. But until then, I hope that you have a nice night and a good time. Good night.